This is OnePlus's OnePlus 7 Pro flagship Android device. It runs on Android 9.0. It has a 6.67 or 6.7 inch AMOLED screen. It's got 3 cameras. It's got Gorilla Glass front and back. And it's got something pretty unique. A pop-up camera. So one of the things you might notice on this really gorgeous big screen is that there's no notch, no drill holes, no fingerprint sensor at the bottom. It's just all screen. Fingerprint sensor is hidden underneath the screen. Right there. Works really well. So if you're not going to put in a notch, drill a hole, what are you going to do about the selfie cam? Well, OnePlus came up with a solution. It hid the 16 megapixel selfie cam inside here. Disappears right inside the body. This selfie camera that pops in and out of the phone seems like a terrible idea, but I have to say OnePlus has really thought this through. If I were to drop this phone, it uses an accelerometer inside the device to recognize the drop is happening, and it instantly slides that camera back into the phone. It happened so fast that I could never film it, but it worked every single time. So if I dropped it, if I had the phone like this and I dropped it, it goes right back into the body. And you also get a little note that recognizes that the free fall happened and asks you whether or not you want to raise the camera again. This is smart technology. I never thought I would like something like this. I like how smart they were about integrating it with the phone and making sure they couldn't break. And I love the fact that it gives me a full edge-to-edge screen experience. 16 megapixel selfie cam takes really nice self-portraits. You can take them standard or you can take them in portrait mode. As you can see, you have a nice background bokeh effect. You can't change that bokeh effect either during photography or after it. This is what's known as a fluid AMOLED display, and mainly that means that in addition to a 3120 by 1440 pixel resolution, it has a 90 Hertz refresh rate. Why do you care about 90 Hertz refresh rate? It means that it's going to be smooth action for games and video. Let's talk about the 3 cameras on the back here. You've got a 48 megapixel standard camera. You've got an 8 megapixel 3x optical zoom camera, and you've got a 16 megapixel ultra wide camera. All of them take really good pictures. Not only is the 48 megapixel camera a really good shooter, but because it's got so many megapixels, you can get incredible detail. And not for nothing, that screen just looks crazy. You also have the 16 megapixel ultra wide camera. And what you'll notice here is that it took in a lot of the room, but it didn't distort. I can actually turn off that setting, and you'll see here, everything curves a little bit at the edges because that's really what the lens is doing. So through software, it corrects it automatically, but you can turn that setting off. Camera shoots up to 4K video at 60 frames per second. There's also a 240 frame per second slow-mo video mode, and this is a really good gaming device. And it's got something in it called fanatic mode. So it's a gaming mode, and basically what this does is it turns off background processes, pushes performance to the game, turns off notifications, so it really lets you focus in on your big screen gaming experience. Stereo speakers, so it can get pretty loud. Oh, I can just tap around. How am I doing? Terrible. There we go. Ooh, look at me go. It has Qualcomm Snapdragon 855 CPU. It's got tons of power, great operation. Inside the OnePlus 7 Pro is a 4000 milliamp battery that lasts for days. There are also some cool OnePlus proprietary utilities in here. There's a screen recorder, which not only records the screen, but also gives you the ability to record sounds directly from your microphone. So if you want to narrate a game or narrate a walkthrough of a different app. There's also something called Zen mode. Now Zen mode is basically a 20-minute timeout from your phone. It locks virtually all features with the exception of photos. You can take a picture with your camera and emergency calls. That's it. You can't unlock it. You really can't do anything with it for 20 minutes. Now, it does warn you before you do it that this is what's going to happen. So I'm not going to do this right now. So you're not going to find things like wireless charging or really water resistance in this. It's not, I mean, there's no IP rating that I could find. So there are some trade-offs. Overall, I really, really like this phone. The OnePlus 7 Pro is a gorgeous Android device. It is a brilliant 6.7-inch display, no cutouts, no drill holes, just all screen. Really great under-the-screen fingerprint reader that works like that. Powerful performance, good sound, great battery life, really nice feel with Gorilla Glass on the front and back. This is a good Android device. Thanks for watching, and if you like this review, remember to rate, review, and subscribe.